Salutations, my name is Summer and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. And Rolo is being so good. He's just being a perfect little boy over there, so we will see if that continues. And then over here, we have Mayfair. So I know Randall was, oh, Phil. I was going to say, I don't know where everybody else is. Phoebe? Okay, so, and maybe, no, I don't know where Fenchurch is. Okay, so I'm doing a book haul, and I'm sure next month there will be another book haul because there's some Brandon Sanderson books I want to order. So we will see. Here's my beautiful, beautiful Sylvie Rue. Okay, first things first, I want to talk about Martha Jones, and I will link her channel down below. I want to say her channel's name is Self-Righteousness, Self-Righteous. I'm sorry, I should have wrote it down. Something like that, but I will link her down below. So I ordered the 3 books that she has for sale that I know about. And one of them is, hopefully you can see in this lighting, The Lion's Share, a cookbook for feeding mind and body. And I got Corn on Macabre. I don't know if every time I see that word, I always think you're mispronouncing it. Or Reflections of a Reluctant Vampire. And then one I started, which I'm not very far on, I'm only on page 24, is Fast Forward. I was going to say by Martha Jones, but you guys know because that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, I want to show you some of her artwork. From the very first, I was laughing about it. So it's about a nurse vampire so far. And it's just, she's so clever and witty and funny. So anyway, I'm not very far along, but I'm really enjoying this. So thank you for writing these, Martha. Okay, try and do these in order. I guess I don't have to. I was just wanting you to see Sylvie when she was down here. Okay, because of Noah, everyone who reads it must converse. And I noticed in a video a while back, I kept cutting his channel name up and forgetting some of it. So sorry about that, Noah. But I just got The Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is the second book. It's Hyperion, Fall of Hyperion, Endymion, maybe, and then maybe the Fall of, or the I don't know. I don't know what the 4th book is. I'm just going to be on the 2nd one. So hopefully I can get to this within a couple months. Because of, I think, Jennifer Brooks, I ordered The Popes by John Julius Norwich. So I'm excited about this. It's a history of the popes, and of course it mentions the woman. So that's what I'm really interested in. Also, I have never been a fan of any pope until Pope Francis. And ever since Pope Francis has become, which I know that's not his original name, but since he has become Pope, every time I see anything about him, I just feel warm in my heart. So I feel like he's really trying and for the people, unlike a lot of the popes we've had in the past. And I'm not Catholic. But I still, when I see Pope Francis, I get this warm, loving feeling. So, okay, because of Jack, the Rambling Raconteur, I'll link all these people down below. He reminded me, I love the George Smiley series by John Le Carre. Did I say that right? I'm not for sure. This is where I'm at. The next one is Smileys People. I don't know if it's 5 or 6, or I'm not sure where I'm at in the series. I just went on Goodreads and looked up, and I met Smileys People, and then I got the one after, The Secret Pilgrim. So, yeah, I love the George Smiley series. I found it because of my favorite actor, Tom Hardy. He played a character in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. And I watched that movie and was completely lost. I just, yeah. And then I realized it was a book and it was a series. So I thought, well, no wonder I'm lost. Plus, I don't know much. I mean, before this, I didn't read much about espionage and spies. Even though I've always been curious about it, I've been more curious about like George Washington's spies. And so anyway, thank you, Jack, for reminding me about that. Okay. Oh, another one because of Jennifer Brooks. She had this, I think she's reading it right now or she just read it. I'm not for sure. But Napoleon the Great by Andrew Roberts. I'm looking forward to reading this after I get War and Peace done because War and Peace talks quite a bit about Napoleon. And I didn't know anything about Napoleon except for, the silly things that you hear on the silly references that you hear about Napoleon, how he was a little man, and you hear about Josephine and their relationship, things like that I've heard about. And the Villain's Head Excellent Adventure when I was a kid, I remember, but nothing real. I mean, some like things like that, reference towards the truth somewhat, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, I got Notes from Underground and Other Stories by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Una and Krypto at the CodeX Cantina. They've been reading a lot of Dostoevsky, I think short stories, and Christy Lewis at Dostoevsky in Space, she reads quite a bit. So they've been opening my my mind to so before last year was the first year I ever read any short stories that I enjoyed. Before then, I never cared for short stories at all. I just would think they were kind of a waste of time. And last year I started reading short stories and I started really enjoying them. So hopefully I'll like that. Another one, Christy, I believe she's talked about. And I'm not sure if it's the same book or not, but this is A Writer's Life. And I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm so sorry. Gear. I don't know. Even just trying, I'm sure I'll butcher it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm thinking I might read this before I read anything by him because I still have not read anything by Dostoevsky yet, which is crazy to me because I own The Brothers Karamazov and I thought I would do that. But for my peace of mind, I decided not to not to do the read along next month. I just have other things I really would like to complete. So for my peace of mind, I'm not. And I own Crime and Punishment sitting on my shelf too. So, and now I have his short stories. I got these two little books. One was like $3, and one was $4, I think. They're adorable. They're the little black, what do they call them? Little black classics. So I got The Meek One by Dostoevsky and How Much Land Does a Man Need by Tolstoy. Okay, I have a question. For all of those who read Tolstoy or know anything about Tolstoy, why do we call him Leo? Because in the Russian language, don't they call him Lev? And why would a name change? Like we don't translate names, right? Like if I was to go to another country, my name would still be Summer Thompson. It wouldn't change. So why do we call him Leo Tolstoy when his name is Lev Tolstoy? Question. For all those out there, please let me know why. we say Leo because I see it looks like Leo to in English, reader, but I feel like if his name is Lev, shouldn't we call him Lev? Okay. I'm a huge fan of Douglas Adams. So I got Last Chance to See, and this is by Douglas Adams and Mark Carradine, maybe that's how you pronounce his name. We lost Douglas Adams way too soon. We could have got so much more out of him, I feel like. Anyway, yeah, I was just, by the time I found, which has been years, by the time I found The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he had already passed. And he was really young. I want to say he was in his early 50s. And I remember he had died of a heart attack. I believe he was working out at a gym. I'm not for sure, but anyway, I also got Douglas Adams' The More Than Complete Hitchhiker's Guide. So, yes, I'm sure I'm going to love this because I've read the whole trilogy, which is really 5 books, which is funny. Okay, the last thing I want to, well, I have one more thing I want to mention, but it's a DVD. So the last book I want to mention is I got The Awakening and Selected Stories by Kate Chopin. I've always said Chopin. Chopin. So I read The Awakening a long time ago. I was a teenager when I read it. I was on as a teenager, I read a lot of different feminist type books, and this was one of them that was on the list. Anyway, but I haven't read any short stories. But Una and Krypto at the CodeX Cantina, they both were reading a short story by her. So, and I love to hear what they had to say, and so it made me think, oh, I would like to read her short story. So, thank you guys. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is a DVD from the library that I just watched. And one of the reasons why I'm mentioning it is because, number one, how deeply it affected me, and number two, if you know any books about the subject that you could recommend, please let me know. So it's called One Rock, Three Religions. How did war become the answer? So I'm not going to pretend to know any more really than I knew going into this. Watching an hour show is not enough when you're talking about a religion and generations of conflict between religions. Now, as a Quaker, I do not believe that a place, it doesn't matter, like we have these meeting houses that are just simplified, that there's nothing really in them, it's just a place to worship. I don't know how to explain that, but it doesn't, where we worship doesn't matter. So, but when I see the prayer wall, when I see these places, and I'm just seeing them on a video. I've never been to Jerusalem. I have never seen these holy sites, but just watching them on a video, I felt something. Like these are truly holy sites. And so to say that one religion, oh, it's so difficult, isn't it? It's so difficult because I want everybody to be able to worship the way they want to worship and do it where they want to do it. My Quaker meeting, when I first started going, we met at a college and we had to share the building with another religious group. I don't know if they were Presbyterian or Protestant. I'm not for sure, but they had like a piano and they sang and they had a minister or whatever pastor who spoke at the front. So when they were finished, we would come in and we would set our chairs in a square. We'd pull our rug out, and because we worship in silence, and we worship in a square or a circle. Like there's no one leader. We're all ministers. We're all, so we're all equal in that sense. So we shared a place, but I truly don't understand why it can't be shared. And I know there's so many difficult people out there that ruin it for a large group of people. Like one person can ruin something for everybody. But I just cried through this whole thing pretty much because I just want people to love each other. I want people to believe what they want to believe. I mean, I don't feel like I honestly feel like I can learn something from every religion that's out there because most religions are, they want the same thing. Most of the religions are based on love and, taking care of each other and trying to be a good person. And a lot of bad people hide behind religion, but if you truly read about certain religions, they all want the same thing. So this was heartbreaking. I would like to learn more. If you guys have if you know of any books about this that you could recommend to me, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to read something from the video that I wrote down that Marianne Williams said in the video. If you don't fill a room with light, it will be dark. And if you don't proactively use your mind to express and give love, there will be fear. Love is radical, and because it is the commitment to love each other despite, not to love you if you do what I want, not to love you if you agree with me, but to love you because you are another human being, because you are a child of God. That is holy ground. And it is radical because we live in a world filled with conditions. I love you if you do this, but God doesn't love us if we do this. God loves us. And I think our spiritual mission on earth is to love as God loves. So I wanted to share that. I've been reading Marianne Williams and stuff since I was 15 years old. And she is all about loving everyone, loving yourself, Anyway, I just wanted to share that. So that's my book haul. I usually don't share movies, or shows, but are documentaries. But I wanted to share that with you guys. So please leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts about anything. And I hope everybody had a great weekend and that their week is starting out wonderfully. So thank you for watching. Bye.